What's good, fight fans? Welcome back to another episode of Combat and Kick It. It's your host, Bando, and we are back at it because we have a huge main event this weekend, a huge middleweight matchup between two former friends turned foes. You got Sean Strickland going up against Khamzat Chimaev. There's a lot of beef in this fight. There's a lot to talk about in this fight, but you know me, whenever there is a big pay-per-view with a big main event, I have to come through with the high stakes fighter breakdowns. You already know that's how this goes. So we're starting this off with the former UFC middleweight champion Sean Tarzan Strickland. Let's get into the high stakes fighter breakdown. Let's smoke. Sean Strickland, a former middleweight champion of the world with a record of 30 wins and 7 losses, with notable wins over Israel Adesanya, Nasruddin Imavov, Abus Magomedov. He's also went 10 rounds with Dricus du Plessis. Sean Strickland is actually a dog, whether you like him or not. Obviously, one of the most controversial figures in the entire game of MMA, probably in all of combat sports. He is definitely a character, right? But we can't take away from what his talent is. Now, I've never been a huge fan. I'm not going to act like I am a huge fan of Sean's style, because I've never been a huge fan of his style. Sometimes it benefits him. We'll talk about a couple fights where his style worked out in his favor. But there are going to be moments in this fight where I could tell you Sean's style is not going to work in his favor. And Sean's a talented dude. Fought a lot of top guys. Fought the best in the division, right? He fought pretty much everybody in the top 5. So you can't really take nothing away from him. He really don't turn down fights. And he's taking the toughest fight he could possibly take. This is the most difficult fight of his career. Now, at one point, Israel Adesanya was the most difficult fight of his career, because you're thinking striking matchup, yeah, Sean's a good striker, but Izzy's going to outclass him. And Sean goes in there and outclasses him, becomes champion. This is different, right? You're not looking at two strikers. You're not looking at two guys who are just going to be standing up. Obviously, Sean's got the wrestling background, right? We know Sean started his entire game from wrestling, but that doesn't mean that he's going to be in there wrestling with one of the toughest freestyle wrestlers in the game. When it comes to wrestling somebody like Khamzat Chimaev, you don't just go in there after not wrestling for years, not utilizing it in any of your fights, to go in there against one of the toughest guys to start grappling with. So Sean Strickland, he's got a tough one ahead of him. That's for damn sure. Looking through Sean's resume real quick, there's actually a lot of guys on this resume that are top talent, right? Obviously, coming off his last win, he had a fantastic win over Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, which I had a feeling Sean would get that win, but you never know because of how Fluffy can be dangerous on the ground. It's crazy to say somebody whose nickname is Fluffy can be dangerous, but yeah, that man can be dangerous on the ground. And he just couldn't get the fight to where he would have the most success. Sean did his thing. Sean, that was one of the best performances Sean's put on in a while. But Sean beat Anthony Hernandez, has a win over Paulo Costa, a win over Israel Adesanya, Abus Magomedov, Nasruddin Imavov. He fought Jared Cannonier in a extremely close split decision, and he lost in that one. Obviously, we know what happened in the Alex Pereira fight. He has a win over Jack Hermanson, Uriah Hall, Christoph Jocko, Brendan Allen, Jack Marshman. I mean, this dude has fought anybody you could potentially fight in the middleweight division. And let's not forget that he even had a stint at welterweight fighting guys like Santiago Ponzinibbio, Kamaru Usman, Court McGee, Alessio Zaleski dos Santos, right? He's fought a lot of different guys, right? He's fought a lot of different talent. And Sean's been in the game for a minute. To have 30 wins, 7 losses, 37 wins, 37 fights, not wins, 37 fights. That's a lot. That's a long time to be in the game. He's been in the game so long that people forget that he fought at welterweight and fought Kamaru Usman. Like when you see the picture, people think it's fake. Fucking seeing Sean with hair. But when you look at Sean's career, you actually have to talk about, obviously he's fought top guys, he's beat top guys, he's been in there with some of the best, but what's brought him success, right? Where is Sean actually, where is he shine the most? Sean has put the most success in the work on the feet, right? Like I said, he started his game, his whole base, everything came from wrestling. That was the originator for him to even get into the sport of mixed martial arts, right? It was wrestling was the first art. So he came into the game as a wrestler, and he really developed a thing of just wanting to scrap, man, just wanting to go in there and fight. Now, a lot of times he will get in a fight where he's not backing up what he said he was going to do in terms of bringing the violence or bringing the chaos. He might be light on a gas pedal sometimes, but what brings so much success to Sean, if you're looking at his fight career, is the fact that he's not scared of anybody, right? He has no fear. He doesn't back down from anyone. There's only one person that he did not fight in that division. That's Robert Whittaker. And most guys who are in the middleweight division don't want any problem with Robert Whittaker. So I can't blame Sean on that one. But he's fought pretty much everybody you could fight in the division. He goes out there to even attempt to put on a good performance, put on an exciting fight, right? He's crazy insane on the mic. He knows how to talk crap. He knows how to have fun. He knows how to be himself, right? There's one thing about Sean Strickland is sometimes it seems like a performance, but for the most part, Sean Strickland is being pretty authentic. Like, I think this fight camp, this whole fight week and everything that you're going to hear him say about Hamzat, I think this is going to be the most authentic Sean that you've seen. And I'm not talking about authentic and all genuine kind. No. I think you're going to see him say some real shit like that he actually means. I think a lot of stuff he says, he knows he's bursting people's bubbles and messing with people. But I think whatever he's saying this week, and this is a real beef, right? These two got real beef. There's something going on that's deeper than Sean said. He made a joke about Chechnya, and I don't know if that's the only thing, right? I guess it was in the group chat, and Hamzat was threatening him in the group chat for the gym or whatever, and I don't know what the case may be. I don't know what the case may be. These fighters, they build together and they fall out all the time, right? But this one seems like since that, it was a quick thing too. Like, it was a quick turn. They were training together, and then all of a sudden, boom, just a quick turn, and they stopped. So the argument, the fight, the back and forth on lines, it just kept going. It's been going ever since, right? And they have not slowed down at all. And I'm curious to see what the UFC's plans are when it comes to face-offs and having these guys together during the fight week. We'll see what happens, but I think you're getting a legit beef. And Sean has brought a lot of success in his career from bringing in that type of vibe of getting under somebody's skin or talking fun shit to them or saying whatever he feels, saying some filterless stuff, right? That's brought him success in terms of bringing people into knowing who he is. And then in the fight game, the thing that brought him the most success is you watch, he's consistent with his boxing for the most part. He's always trying to put the pressure on. He's got a great jab, good 1-2. There's sometimes where he looks like he is levels ahead of these guys, and then there's sometimes where he just looks average, right? Sean is a weird case sometimes. Sometimes, like I said, Sean could look like a world beater one day and just an average dude the next. And I think that's all Sean expected himself to be. I don't think he ever expected himself to become UFC middleweight champion and get the opportunity and build from there and everything like that. And to get another opportunity, I mean, this is his third championship fight, and this is going to be his most difficult one. I mean, Dreykus got him down. Hamzat controlled Dreykus for 5 rounds, kept putting him in a crucifix like it was nothing. So Sean's got his hands full, even with the best parts of his game, and we're gonna go into that. We're gonna lead into the keys to victory here soon. But like you look at the best parts of his game, his boxing, his jab, he's got good teeps. He keeps the pressure coming forward. Believe it or not, even though his chin is wide up and it seems like it's wide open, he does have good good little shoulder rolls. He knows how to deflect and parry punches pretty well. But I think the thing is, when you have a guy who stands so close, his feet are so close, man. His stance is so closed. He's looking to press forward. He's throwing a jab. He's throwing a teep. He's going to put himself in a dangerous position against a guy like Hamzat, because Hamzat's going to shoot. You already know that. So Sean just got to be careful. So if Sean's smart, right, he will just allow this fight to have a I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, Hamzat's going to shoot right off rip. Don't even give him an opportunity to engage, right? He's going to come at you, right? You already know he's going to come at you. Don't engage. Let him shoot. Expect the shot. Be ready for the shot. Throw something wild for that shot. No matter what, he's going to get Sean down. You know what I'm saying? Might as well just throw something wild. It's the beginning of the fight. Take the chance while you can, right? So, we're going to get into the keys to victory for Sean Strickland against Hamzat. Here's the thing about keys to victory with Sean. The toughest part about this, right, is he can't use any of these keys right off rip. His number one key is to be defensive, especially in those first 5 minutes. You have no other choice but to be defensive and just defend continuously fight. Do not allow this man to flatten you out. Do not allow this man to get a crucifix. Do not allow this man to take full-on control on the ground, because it's going to be a tough night for Sean Strickland if he allows this to happen. But the first 5 to 7 minutes of the fight, this man is wild. Hamzat his pace is next level. So Sean's got to kind of weather the storm. And then, in my opinion, whenever you weather that storm, if the fight does stand, if you do get back to the feet after those initial onslaughts, you better get to throwing. He's going to shoot regardless. You might as well get to throwing. So Sean's got to be very defensive to begin with. So it's kind of a key to victory. It's not really a key to victory. It's a key to just basically weather the storm. Because if he could weather the storm, I could see Sean having much more success being able to weather the storm, getting the fight into 3, 4, 5. If Hamzat has to work for submissions and Sean is defending him and making him work and scrambling with him and continuously making him work, then it's much more. Even if Hamzat's cardio is phenomenal, it's still tiring. And if Sean could start working things, working the combos, working teeps up the middle and stuff like that in those late rounds, Sean has much more chance. He has a higher chance of success than he does in any other situation in this fight. So, first key to victory is be defensive and weather the storm. Second key to victory, like I said, he needs to work up the middle. Right, he's got to work them teeps. He's got to work, the body shots. He's got to work the jab. Obviously, we know he's going to work the jab. He's going to throw the 1-2. He's going to stay down the middle in that aspect. But he throws good teeps. You have to throw a lot of body teeps. They're not those types that typically always get caught, right? They're catchable, but you don't always catch these ones because the way Sean's stance is, it's not like a powerful kick. It's just something to kind of set up or give you something to think about. But if he could work a couple of those to the body, work a couple leg kicks in those later rounds, after you weather the storm in those later rounds, you start to do stuff like that, you might be able to wear the man down a little bit. If you could wear him down, then Sean could end up taking control in his strong suit. Right. I also think if Sean sees Hamzat at any moment get tired and Sean's not tired, Sean should do something to tire him out more. Right. Body shots is always the way to go. It's always the way to go. So that's another huge key to victory is body shots. Work the body. right? When I say work things up the middle and the teep kick to the body, the working the body is what's going to have a lot of success if you weather the storm, because you made him work in the first round, you made him work in the second round, and then you're giving him the work in the third round. In the fourth round, he's going to come out. He's going to be breathing with his mouth open, and he's not necessarily going to be gassed, but you might see that sign of weakness, right? We saw it against Gilbert Burns. Now, Hamzat's not the same guy as he was at 170, especially not that version of Hamzat at 170 compared to the version right now at 185. They're completely two different versions, so I can't really use that as a huge comparison, but we have seen him get tired before. He even got tired against Usman as well. It was a short notice fight, but that was short notice for Usman. You know what I mean? He could get tired. Sean has to weather the storm. This man likes to go full-fledged right off rip. Sean has to avoid being in the positions where Hamzat could get an easy early finish. So, like, I kind of used the cardio as key to victory as well. You know, weather the storm. Try to utilize cardio as being a strong suit for you. Hopefully being a weapon in this fight for him, because that's one of the best things that he could do, is be able to outlast the man so he could outwork him and end up getting decision win, possibly a finish. We'll see. But Sean definitely he has to try to play the cardio route if he gets past that first round. If he gets past that crazy onslaught, I don't think Hamzat's going to try to continuously do it for 5 rounds unless he knows that he can get Sean down with like zero resistance. You know what I mean? If it's that easy, he's going to be taking Sean down all night. All night. I think another, not necessarily a key to victory, but something that people don't do against guys like Hamzat, guys like Khabib, guys like Islam, they don't go in there and be themselves, right? Sean needs to go into this fight and be himself. Be that shit talker. Say stuff to Hamzat while you're fighting. Do the same stuff how you did against that one dude back in 2020. We were like, oh, come on, Jack. Come on. That's the type of shit that no one does to people like Hamzat, right? You're not necessarily going to break him, but that's in his head, especially if you're doing things that are successful in a fight, right? You throw some stuff to throw a little mental warfare in there in the middle of the fight when you're doing things that Hamzat wouldn't have expected you to do. Imagine if Sean took him down and was talking shit to him on the ground for a couple seconds, even if it was literally just the last 10 seconds of like the first or second round, but he gets him down and he's talking a little bit. That does something to the ego of fighters sometimes, especially ones who don't get tested like that. Get people that's talking shit. Like, yeah, you talk shit on the outside. Everybody talks shit on the outside. When you're in the octagon, you're kind of more locked in and focused. You're not always going to talk shit, but it's in Sean's character to do so because we've seen it happen before, right? So I think Sean's got to let that fly a little bit. If he's having any success, he's got to let that fly a little bit. He's got to have a little bit of fun in there because he just can't let Hamzat win the mental aspect of this too. We already know how strong, durable, and tough the dude is. If he wins the mental aspect of this, he's going to get this fight won with ease, man, with ease. And that's where I've been leaning this whole time, is like, oh, Hamzat's going to get this fight won with ease. But realistically, what if Sean goes out there and does something fancy? What if Sean catches him? What if Sean does get to 3-4-5 and there's a huge difference between Hamzat 1 and 2 compared to Hamzat 3-4-5, and Sean is able to make adjustments and start piecing them up, and he takes the last 3 rounds and he wins a decision? Or in the 4th round, after Sean worked him a little bit in the 3rd, in the 4th round, Sean gets a finish. It would be shocking, and the odds are probably outlandish, and guess what? I'm going to make a stupid bet on it anyways, because if it hits, I ain't going to be mad at it. Trust me, I'm not throwing no $150+ on it, or I'm not even throwing $50+ on it. I'll probably throw 5 on it, and it'll probably be like 5 to win 150, right? Which is a beautiful profit for me. But if I lost the $5 on something like that, I'm not hurting that bad. And who knows, the odds might be even more crazy. If you're talking about Sean Strickland knockout specific round, Holy shit, them odds are probably insane. You put $5 to $10 down on that, and you win. It's gonna be sitting pretty, right? The few bets that I would probably lock in for this, like if you're just trying to win and you're trying to like kind of balance them out, like, oh, if this one doesn't win, I got this one to potentially win. But I could see Hamzat submission first round, second round, Sean Strickland potential finish in the fourth round, or take Sean Strickland by decision. It's one of those things. There's a lot of different bets you could place, but the odds are going to be crazy for Sean Strickland to get any sort of finish against Hamzat. Now we get into the negatives for Sean Strickland going into this fight that please don't do in this fight. Actually, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. There's nothing you. You do that, you getting double leg, quick, down to the ground. Down to the ground. You better be working that scramble, son. I'm sorry. You know that's one of the main negatives is how tight his stance is. His hands are high up. He is wide open. Wide open for a takedown. Wide open for a takedown. And you already know how explosive Hamzat is. It's like we talked about it the whole podcast, how explosive he is in that first round. He's shooting, Sean. Okay? I'm not a fighter. I'm not training for Hamzat. But I know for a fact he's shooting. If that was on the bet slips, I think everybody would lock that in because it's an automatic dub that man is shooting in the first round. He's not going to stand. He's not going to stand and trade with you, Sean. And if he does stand and trade with you, he's going to get you thinking that you're standing and trading with him, and he's going to put you on your back. It's hard because this negative is something that is just embedded into Sean's game. There's nothing that he can do to really make the adjustment, right? Obviously, he's been working with Johnny Eblen, a great wrestler, right? He's a fantastic wrestler, but not Hamzat level grappling. I'm sorry, it's just it's not there. There might be a lot of assistance, maybe kicking Sean's wrestling genes back in a little bit, like getting things flowing a bit again, but levels, man. Levels. We all know that there are crazy levels to this game. And Sean is going to go in there with his typical same stuff he does in every fight. The stances is going to be this tight. Hands are going to be up. He's going to be throwing his jab, which is great. Throw your jab. The jab is fantastic. Obviously, you're standing on, if you're on feet, he's, like I said before, he's good at parrying shots. He's good at stuff, when it comes to the defense. But at the same time, that Philly shell ain't going to do nothing for you when that double leg comes. And here's the thing, you're going to get double leg and you're going to sprawl him or scramble. He's not going to stop. He's not going to stop, Sean. You have to have answers for these moments. Right? Sean is also the type of guy where this leads into the next negative. It's really a don't, right? Sean is the type of guy he's getting taken down, and instead of fighting the takedown, he's trying to throw punches out of more of like an emotional type of, oh, I'm getting taken down, but I'm going to show you, I'm going to hit you with a bunch of shots while you're taking me down. And I get that. You want to make them pay when they're taking you down, but you can't just be throwing willy-nilly just to expect to land some stuff while they're taking you down. You're going to still end up on your back, right? He has to focus in, be locked in on defending the takedowns. You can't start looking into punishing him for the takedowns until you realize that you could defend these takedowns. The takedowns that Hamzat shoots are not easy ones to oh my gosh, to defend. I'm over here stuttering like a motherfucker. They're not easy to defend. Simple as that. And no matter what you do, you can sprawl, you can scramble. It's going to be tough. But Sean has to do his best to focus on defense and not trying to just throw punches while in the midst of getting taken down. Right? It's a major don't. I'll put it right here. Don't. Just don't do it. And we'll get into the other negative too is Sean, don't go in there overconfident with the striking. You don't want to be overconfident with the striking. Let's not act like this man don't have power in his punches. Let's not act like he can't box. He can't strike. He can. He very well can. And that's the thing. I think Sean's going in there thinking he is an extremely superior boxer. But in reality, Hamzat's game of mixing it up, any guy that mixes it up like that and it has the wrestling background, it always throws you off. You never know when the takedown's coming. You always think that maybe this punch is going to be a punch, but realistically, it's an overhand and he shoots for a double leg and then you're on your back. You think you're about to strike with him, but realistically, you're getting taken down. It's a very difficult thing to balance out and stuff like that. He's a extremely technical wrestler, right? Even though it seems sloppy sometimes, he knows every which way to put you to where he can get you down or put you in a position where he could end up being the one to take control. Sean has to be careful. Sean just has to be careful. And he has to be careful for the early parts of the fight. Just be careful for the early parts of the fight and then start being who you are. Start doing your thing at that point. Right? If you have the confidence, you build the confidence just a little bit that you could defend these takedowns and just focus in on actually defending the takedown, it's going to be a lot more solid. But that's it for this episode for the former middleweight champion for the high stakes fighter breakdown of Sean Strickland. I think he does have a decent chance. For a while I was thinking, man, this man's going to get smoked. And honestly, that's still there, right? I still think he's going to get smoked, most likely. But he's not out of the realm of having a possibility. Not out of the realm of having a chance of winning this fight. Like I said, if this fight could get into the late rounds, Sean has a much bigger chance if he was able to weather the crazy storm that Hamzat brings in the first 5 to 7 minutes. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, I think most people are leaning Hamzat. I'm leaning Hamzat, but like I said, I'm throwing that bet down on Sean Strickland getting a knockout because I want that profit. I need that profit. It's what I'm looking for. But that's it for this episode. I appreciate you guys for watching. You know what to do. Like, comment. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And then hit the bell notification button so you know when the next episode is out. The next episode is going to be the high stakes fighter breakdown for Hamzat Chimaev. And then we have to do the UFC 328 full breakdown. So stay tuned. I'll catch you on the next episode. Your boy Bando's out.